want to make clear in my article that I can explain, but it would be useful to have a quote, is brainwashing, mind control is a violation of somebody's human rights, I think. So can you tell me why this is so abusive to people?
Well, because it takes away people's agency to protect themselves and their loved ones, in short. And it constrains them, their behaviors, so that those behaviors become largely directed to the interests of the group and the leader, rather than their own. I don't want to say people should just be selfish. The common good is important, but we also look after our own survival as human beings within a context of the common good. The problem with cults is that it's not a common good; it's the leader good. It's the leadership's good, and so the followers' energy is all going to meet the needs of the leader, rather than the common good, and therefore everyone in the group's good. How's that?
It's good. But what I'm trying to figure out is like this. It's clearly abuse to me, and I want to say that it is a serious abuse.
Well, the result of brainwashing, generally speaking, because the only people who engage in brainwashing are people who want to control other people, psychopaths. Like, I know how to brainwash, but I don't do it. I have no interest in doing it, because that's not the kind of person I am. But a psychopath wants to control other people. And psychopaths are cruel, they have no empathy, they're often sexually abusive because of their own needs. Let me backtrack a minute. If we look at the results of brainwashing, this isn't a theoretical thing. This is a real life thing. The results of brainwashing are that people get made to do awful things or accept awful things. They get torn away from their families. They're not allowed to think their own thoughts. They're not allowed to make their own choices about their sexual lives. They may be they very often are sexually abused. They may be physically abused. They're entrapped. They don't have personal physical freedom often. They may have to reject their children. So when you look at the Declaration of Human Rights that talks about things like the right to a family life, well, you don't have that in an autonomous way in a cult. The right to freedom of expression, you don't have that in a cult. You can pretty much go down the list of all the human rights, and you are not going to get those in a cult. And that's, as we say in academia, an empirical reality. You can look at these groups, and you can tick off all those rights that are being abrogated. And the way that the leadership gets control of people in order to do that, the method is what we can call brainwashing or coercive control or cultic manipulation.